No.
You can also turn on captions,
It's saying
so people know
no.
what we're saying already.
But okay, I'll do that. How do I do that? Wait, I'm so okay. There we go.
It's at the bottom there.
All right. So I can't figure out how to do this OBS thing. It's the desktop audio 2, and auxiliary are all in red on
You
my
can also
OBS.
turn on captions,
I did that. Oh
so
shit!
people
Why
know
am I?
what we're saying already.
Who's doing the double? I'll do that. Did I do
Okay,
that?
it's
Wait, I'm
on.
so
It's on.
okay. There we go.
It's at the bottom there.
All right. So
Sound is
Yeah,
on.
we got sound.
yeah, I heard myself there for a second.
And we got
Hi.
subtitle now.
I did something right. I fixed it myself. Are you kidding me? Get out! I fixed it
Bingo Black Cat
myself.
is here.
Wait. They still can't hear me. I don't think.
Yes, they can.
So why isn't it lighting up on my OBS mixer?
Don't know, but all I can tell you is that we can hear
Yay!
you.
Okay, well I don't care then. Hi guys, again. Very. I'll turn the captions off now.
Start
So,
over.
hi Cliff. Let's start again. How you doing?
Hey Marvel, I'm doing good. Hello everybody. So we'll give them a rundown on what's going on. So if you have any questions for Cats, you can ask them in the chat. Tag me, and time permitting, they'll get asked.
Super
But
chats are the priority. Sorry, Cliff. I interrupted you, didn't I? I didn't know you were gonna say it this time.
no, I was waiting for you to say it.
Okay, yeah. Super chats take the priority of questions being asked. So get those super chats in. Robert, you're next. Hi.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
All right. This time they can hear us, so I'm happier.
I'm so
Um,
happy to be here. I finally, I seem to,
miss
fingers
him.
crossed, I have a full day off today. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
And we see those.
I'm super excited to be here with Mr. Conspiracy Cats
And
and
all the rest of
Radical
my
and
yeah.
Anthony and Clifford but yeah, I'm particularly partial to cats. So
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Nice to see those bright eyes too. All right. Well, we have a newcomer to the channel, Anthony. Why don't you say hi, hon?
Well, hello, lovely people. Glad to be here. Be a part of Mr. Katz's interview, and let's get on with it.
Yeah, new to the stream, but not new to the channel. He's a good friend of mine, Robert's, everybody's. He's got a great VR gaming channel. So check it out, Anthony Bailey. That's the name of the channel
hell
too, right?
yeah, stone hard bread.
Stonehard Bread. Thank you. I can never remember anything.
We'll
Then there's
link it
this
for you.
guy that I know. He's rusting over here in the corner. Radical, say hi.
He's
I got my
he's
turtle
not
wax.
roasting.
What?
I got my turtle action and I don't rust.
Turtle wax. I love the smell of that stuff. Hi, Raj. How
How's
you
it
doing?
going?
Oh no,
And last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't know who it is though. Is it Conspiracy Cats? Is it Baldy Cats? Which one? Both?
Oh, yeah, both. A good mix. A good mix of both. How are you doing? You okay?
I'm good. Glad to see you. Been a while actually.
It has, but I always like it on this channel. You know, it's always just a nice, chilled out. So I enjoy it. So I am looking forward to this. Thanks for having us back.
I'm always happy to have you here, and it's always so much more fun. Except when we're playing Quiplash, because you beat the heck out of all of us.
I beat
You
him
know,
last time.
You
Just
did that.
saying.
You did.
last couple of times I've taken a good beating actually. So, but I'm trying to be reserved, you see, and not put anything too offensive out there. Maybe that's.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You never
That's the
speak to me again.
story. Yeah, I was surprised when
Can I
Robert beat you last time, though. Yeah.
can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
In the chat, Charlie Welch, we hope you get better. Suffering with COVID.
Oh gosh. Sorry, hon.
And hello to everyone else in the chat. Your pal Al, my fellow Louisiana mate. Yeah, this is
Okay
not a
then.
non-smoking channel, Joseph.
No, not at all. I was
Smoking
about to
if you
say hi to
got 'em.
everybody in the chat. So hi, chat. Thank you, Robert, for doing that for me. Yeah, we love our chat here, and we hope that you'll be very active during this interview because
So,
Hey, so
There's so much we need to know.
I
Hey,
mean,
Sam
Dan
and
is here.
Dan is here. Yeah.
Get out.
Jinx.
Oh, I know what's coming now. I know what's coming. He's going to ask about Blackburn Rovers and are we in the next round of the FA Cup now? If you're in America, that might not mean a lot.
Yeah, it
But what he's
doesn't.
actually doing there is he's hurting me. He's going to hurt me bad, and I know it's coming. So
Oh,
there
that
we
whole
go.
soccer thing, right?
He says
Yeah,
he's got a question for Catz, so you know you're probably right.
Okay. Well,
I know
as I
it's
said-
going to make me cry.
Then I should change it to super chats and Simon and Dan questions take priority. How about that? Because always he's going to take priority here. I remember when he just had a few thousand people subbing to him. So I'm either very old or he's blown up very fast. So glad to
That's
see you,
back
Simon
when he
and
used to
Dan.
be just Dan, right?
Just Dan, not Simon Dan, just Dan. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
Simon Dan is at almost 500,000
I
subscribers
know,
now.
it's absolutely
Brilliant.
incredible. Okay,
Won't be
so I'm
long.
gonna spotlight the channel. So I'm gonna actually, maybe not.
Okay.
What the heck was that?
Beginning, Catz.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Check
said
the chat.
that.
It's beginning.
there we go. I'm
You
gonna
know what's
pin-
coming.
Now
We
I've
want to
got-
Dan
record
says-
a league defeat to ours. Was it Blackburn by any chance, Dan? Perhaps. That got... yes, I think the answer is Blackburn. I think I've answered that one right.
Okay.
See, Southampton won today. They beat Arsenal in the FA Cup, so he'll be happy.
I take it these are teams. I know nothing about soccer, guys. I'm sorry.
It's more than just a game. It's more than just a game. It's soccer
I've
in
noticed
the UK.
that you guys get passionate, to say the least.
What would be the equivalent in America then? What's like the game?
For me,
Because I know you've got a lot.
see, everybody's different. For me, it's baseball. I'm a Yankees fan, so I'm a bit fanatical about that. But we tend to be, because we've had the most World Series in history. Thank you very much. 27, I believe. Anyways, so then there's football. Bobby's a big Saints fan, right, Robert?
Who dat?
I'd say football is the most popular game in the United States.
I would argue
Football is the most popular
Yeah.
game in the United States and almost one of the most popular sports in the world. I'd probably say second to maybe third, because cricket's pretty big other than here, but European / the rest of the world's football is the most popular sport on the planet. But American football is pretty close to second.
And with American football, when the crowd are watching, do they have to split the crowd between like supporters
No.
of one
that.
team?
No.
You're all mixed
no,
together.
Everybody's mixed. Wherever you get your ticket.
Yeah,
If you
no,
watch
they don't.
College football,
Do
they'll
they do
have
that?
like
Wait, do they
sections
do
and
that for
stuff.
soccer? Do you split?
Depends on what country you're in.
Oh yeah.
You know, they,
Has to be
they,
done, yeah.
Really?
they even
They'll
split
kill
the
each other.
crowd. They even split the crowd in ice hockey when they play in England. It's crazy.
Oh.
You guys are
They do
just
that-
weird.
I'll tell you, it goes a little bit further, and Dan will say the same about Southampton, Portsmouth, and we get it with Blackburn, Burnley. If it's a local derby where two teams are rivals, not only do they split the crowd, but let's say there's a match at Blackburn, all the Burnley fans would have to get on a coach at Burnley with the ticket. The coaches would drive them to Blackburn, and the police would watch them, escort them in to the Burnley stand where they would sit. And then at the end of the game, they've got to sit there an hour after the game is finished while all the Blackburn fans leave before then they were
Get
escorted back
out.
to their coach. No, seriously, and driven back to Burnley. Sometimes that is how segregated they've got to keep the crowds. Passions really do run that high. For
Holy
some,
mother. Well, I've heard
I
of
know
the
it's-
hooliganism that can happen, right? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, well, I've never experienced any hooliganism, and I think maybe in the 80s, like that was an issue. But I just think they're so aware of it now, and they're so on top of what might happen. They just don't give it the opportunity.
Wow.
Some of them have curfews, right?
Because
Repeat offenders. They basically have to
Wow.
report to the police station or something.
Yeah.
And there's a match in town.
see, back to the baseball, like when it comes to rivalries, like for a long time, you didn't get better than or more intense than Red Sox Yankees, right? But you never even had. And fights would break out, but splitting the crowd is like I'm gobsmacked. I think that's the word for it, right?
Oh, it's standard here. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a football match where
Wow.
a crowd's not been split. No, and Yeah, to me, it's odd that people don't do that.
Really?
You know. Yeah, I mean, we have the same in. Well, I think we've got the same in rugby, although I don't really follow the rugby. But yeah, football's always been like that, and ice hockey would be the same. I'm sure as well.
I see a good word for it in the chat. Dog walker. It's tribalism.
Yeah,
There is, yeah, there is a lot of that, and I think a lot of the trouble that originates or comes out of football is because of that tribalist sort of attitude that a small percentage of people have. And I think you find it's worse when you follow a team away from home. That's where you get the hardcore fans, the ones who are willing to
anybody who's
drive
willing
a
to
couple of them
travel.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see it then. I don't tend to go away much. I've only been away a couple of times, but you don't really see it with the home crowd. But yeah, when you go away, it's quite quite intense.
I have to say, I believe that because I've traveled when my dad had a team playing, and I even felt I got a little bit more quote unquote passionate when I was at somebody else's field. Like you feel like you have to be almost, you know, on their territory.
You do, and but just in general, those fans are willing to make that trip. They're willing to spend more money to go and accommodate themselves. They just they select out, don't they? They are going to be the more hardcore. And when you're there, you feel like you're in the lion's den, you know, because there's only a few hundred of you and thousands of them, and it's crazy. Yeah.
You feel like you have
but
to
these days,
I'm
getting old these days. So I just prefer to sit and watch it on the telly.
I miss live sports, don't you?
Massively.
right now they're doing that casual crowd noises. You know, they have recorded like in 2019, and they're using it, blasting it through speakers.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Well, it's gotta be weird for the team out there with nobody watching. So are they doing it for the team?
They have speakers on the field as well, so that people on the field also hear the music. But this guy's just sitting there with a soundboard, right? Like boo or yay. It's just so weird.
Kind of fun.
We started having fans back in our stadiums, just at extremely reduced capacity.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Like, for instance, I think they said they're going to allow 23,000 people into the Super Bowl. 7,700 of those are going to be free health workers.
Oh, that's cool.
Healthcare workers and stuff. They're going to be given free tickets, which will be crazy.
They deserve that.
That'll be the most regular people that have ever been in a Super Bowl.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of it's sad how many places are failing, the businesses, because it's been so like nobody can go to restaurants, and so many are like iconic restaurants are closing down. Restaurants that have been around forever and part of the community can't make it, and that's sad. But anyway, let's get to the interview. Catz is here for only a certain amount of time. So, like
Can you look at your Can you look at your Discord real quick before you go?
I am. Thank you. As I was about to say, tag Cliff for any questions, but super chats get the priority. And yeah, here we go. Catz, you ready for this? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. And Radical has already survived it. It's not that bad. So
I'm still here.
he's still there. Yeah, he's limping, but okay.
And keep in mind, I'm standing in front of a castle that constantly barrages me with face palms and face punches. So
I'm not that bad.
I'm limping, so you know what you're in for.
All right, let's start when you were a kid. All right, what did you do to fill the day? Like, were you one who was outdoors a lot? Would you play in your chemistry set? I don't know. What did you do?
Oh, well, I've got a couple of brothers, and then up the street were another family with a couple of kids that were a similar age to us. And so we were always just out, playing, imagining we were whatever. You play army games and, always in water fights or pretending to shoot each other with laser beams or play Star Wars. So, yeah, we were always just out running around and playing. And luckily where I live, there's so many big fields and open places we can go to that it was... If anybody in the UK watches like Last of the Summer Wine, you get an idea of the kind of place I live. It's just very rural, or you can get there really easily. So yeah, we're just always out, always playing, running around. It was good fun.
That's cool. Are you from a big family?
Well,
brothers and sisters?
not massively extended family, but there were three of us in the house. Three kids in the house as we grew up.
Nice. I'm sorry. I'm getting text and they won't stop.
It's a good ringtone. I like it.
It's it was my parents' song, "Happy Together" by the Turtles. It keeps me close to them. I feel like. Anyway, like I was very close to my parents. Did you have a very close family?
Yep, still do. We all live within 10 minutes walk of each other, all of us, and all our kids. So yeah, still do. Very, very, very close, and see each other all the time. So definitely.
So important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know
I think so.
You have a movie night with your kids, and that's awesome. Tell us about that. Tell us about your family now. What'd you take from your parents and bring to your family? You know what I'm saying?
Movie night. I know you said the same. You did the same when you were kids. We always did that. Saturday night was great. You know, just look forward to what video could you rent out the shop. Because when we had to have tapes, you had to rent them. You couldn't just stream what you wanted. And we'd spend the whole day sort of like planning which video we were going to rent. And then you went to the shop and we were allowed some pop, some chocolate, and some sweets and crisps. And then so you get some of that and sit down. It's great. Movie night, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And it makes great memories too, right? They will have them forever. And they'll probably do that with their kids. And it's great. Like you said, I do remember the video cassettes, though. I remember the smell of the shop. The small shops that rented. I remember the smell when you walked in. Popcorn and candy and the VHS tapes. But I'm old. So,
me too.
Going on more about the kids stuff. Did you want to be? And this is a super chat from Clip. Do you want to read the super chat from Robert? Because that is my next question anyway.
Okay, so Robert Legere III for $5 for Catz. Did you want to be a teacher from the jump, or did you have another goal that you either fell short of or completed, then went to teaching?
No, I didn't want to be one from the off. I didn't know what I wanted to be, and I think that was the problem. I just didn't know. I was toying with the idea of going into the police. I was toying with the idea of maybe seeing if I could join the RAF and get a role, maybe tutoring or doing something with them. I didn't know. But where I lived, because I was living in Lancaster at the time, I was really close to a teacher training college after I finished my degree. And I was working for a lab in a year just while I saved a bit of money thinking what it was I wanted to do. And I don't know, maybe just living right close to that teacher training college, it was just always there, drip feeding in my mind. This is a possibility. It's a possibility. And I kind of convinced myself that I was going to give it a go and just see what it was like. And then 20 years later, still kind of doing it. But it was never a deliberate choice. I just kind of slipped into it, really.
So would you say you were like a great student in school yourself?
I was that typical kid who was, polite, but I'd ghost through and do the bare minimum if I could get away with it.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I would, if I could get away with it, not in terms of being naughty. I was never like a naughty kid, but I was probably a really lazy kid, lazy person. But the thing is, in school, and this is what I try and get into my students now, you can, with a GCSE, you can pass based on just sheer cognitive ability. If you've got a good memory and you're quite logical, GCSEs actually aren't that difficult. If you can get through them pretty quickly, but then when you hit A level, that stops, and you need to have that sort of you need to have that drive and those other skills that maybe you've been able to sail by without for GCSE. And that's exactly what happened to me. Sail through my GCSEs without doing any work whatsoever because I just could. And then I hit A levels and found it like a bit of a gut punch.
Okay, before I ask the next question, for those of us who don't have a GCSE, what would that be? Is that like
right? So what? Sorry, go on.
Is that like an SAT or is that like high school? What is that?
I don't really know what an SAT is, but in the UK, when you hit 16 years old, when you're what we call like year 11, you don't sit one exam, you sit exams for every subject that you've chosen. So I chose 9 subjects. Some you have to take, some you don't, and you get an individual certificate in each of those subjects. And it used to be graded like A, B, C, D when I was at school. And based on how you do in those subjects, that's your ticket to the next level of education. So if I wanted to do science, if I didn't have decent science GCSEs, then I wasn't going to be accepted anywhere to do science at A-level. If I wanted to do history, A-level is what you do up until 18 years old.
So high school, right? Gotcha.
That's what you call it. So it's high school for you. What age do you enter high school?
We start at eighth grade. No, ninth grade is high school. So ninth is about 14 years old, 13, 14. To 18.
See, that would be, yeah. That spans.
Yeah,
we finish school at 16, and then 16 to 18 would be our higher education.
So that's like junior college to us then.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
And then we have college. Most people just go straight to college now because junior college is an added expense that you don't need, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But SAT it tests you on mostly verbal and math, like English and math, to get you into college. It's what colleges use to. It's their metric, really. Should we take them? Should we not? You know.
And is it in one particular subject, or is it just like a general?
In, math. There's I don't know. I can't remember if there's basic science in that, but there's math, I know, and there's English stuff like reading comprehension, stuff like that.
And but it's all on the one test, so you won't get a separate like grade for each.
We get one for the math, one for the verbal. Sometimes I think they were on consecutive Saturdays, or maybe you could sit for both of them now. I don't know. It's been a while since I took mine. And you could there's even a practice one when you're in junior high school you could take if you want to get ready for it and know what it's like. But it's like filling in the bubble. A lot of those. And it's and it's a time limit thing. Is that what the GCSE is?
Yeah, you get an hour. Everybody sits in the hall in silence, and usually it's about an hour per paper, maybe an hour and 15. And then some subjects have maybe up to 3 papers that you'll sit. And we have like an exam season. Usually starts like in the middle of May and it goes to the end of June. And kids could have 2 or 3 exams a day throughout that period. Not every single day, but you could have up to 3 exams a day throughout that period. And
you said you choose some of them?
Do what? Sorry.
You said the person chooses some of the tests they take.
Yeah, when you hit year 9, which for us is 13, about 13 years old, some subjects you have to do. So you have to do science, you have to do maths, you have to do English. We have to do a language, but you get the choice of on the call for a second. Just
mine too. Like you froze up. Okay, just making sure. But let's.
It is buffering, by the way. Check your settings in Discord. OBS, I mean.
What is? I don't even know what that means.
Oh no, wait. It's.
I don't even know.
It's back, I think. It's back. It's weird. Okay, so we're back.
It's YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Good. Please don't.
Yeah, it was a YouTube hiccup, I guess. So.
Please, YouTube, be good to me today. I don't have it. All right. So, you said that you would co-spy if you could, right? You said you were kind of a lazy student a little bit.
If I could get away with doing the minimum, I'd have got away with doing the minimum, definitely.
Were you a good
Not proud of
student,
it,
though? Like, were you a good boy? Like, did you
Yes.
cut classes ever? Did you get in trouble, play hooky, that kind of thing?
No, nothing ever like that. I was always pretty respectful. I think I was daft. I was immature. Who'd have thought it?
Oh my God! Would never have guessed.
But I was never. I'd never deliberately try and disrupt things or anything. No.
Okay, cool. Like, moving on, if you don't mind, how did you meet Mrs. Catz?
Same school. Worked at the same school.
Oh, worked at it or went to?
Worked at it.
Oh, so when you first got your job, that's cool. First year, first time, what?
Yeah. Well, we started together at the same school, which I left after about 12 years. She stayed there, but yeah, we started at the school together, and then I think probably got married about seven years later, something like that. So I had to try out all the other teachers in the school first.
Like when you
Joking.
Was it love at first sight, really, or what?
No, I wouldn't have said so. But let's say over time, because we didn't really know each other that well, because even though we were in the same school, we're in different departments, so we see each other very, very rarely.
What does she teach? What does she teach?
Well, maths.
Oh, very logical family.
Well, you'd think we should be, but I don't know.
Does she have the sense of humor you do?
No.
Tragic.
Wine rotten. Yeah, she doesn't appreciate a lot of what I say sometimes.
How many kids?
She's a bit more serious.
How many kids do you have?
2.
Boy, girl.
Yeah, 2 girls. Yeah, belters. Actually, I will say so myself. They are good kids. They are
Daddy's
good kids.
girls.
Depends what mood you get them in. Depends what they want. If they want something from me, then they're daddy's girls. If they want something from the mum, then
smart girls.
Yeah, switched on. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds just like me. So are you wrapped around their fingers?
No. I'd like to say I'm the man with the boss man in the house, but I think that probably goes to the
Nah.
When she's not here,
backpedaling there, Catz.
That's it. When she's not here, I am definitely the boss, But if she's here, I'll not say that. But I think like anybody.
So tell us about your Do your kids ever watch your channel? Not your children, your students. I meant. Sorry.
Not now because I've moved. But there was a school I worked at not so long ago that like one of the kids just found out. I don't know whether it just by chance it popped up on the recommendations, and I never thought that would happen because in the whole scheme of things, like I'm a really tiny drop in the whole YouTube thing, and you'd have to specifically be looking for flat Earth stuff to even have a chance of me appearing on your recommendation page. So I never thought that would happen, but it did, and then it went around the school like that. It just went around like wildfire, and it was up for the first few days. I'd walk down the corridor, and as I walked past someone, I'd hear a kid go, "Space comma," and they'd have a laugh. And oh yeah, and then we have a thing over here called non-uniform day, where basically all schools do it. Everyone comes in, they chip in £1 for charity, and they get to wear their own clothes rather than uniform. And we had a non-uniform day once at that school, and about 3 kids come in a conspiracy cats hoodie. She was just
that's wonderful. That's cool.
But then. The novelty died down. To be honest, it probably lasted about a month, and then people just got used to it. They didn't care. So, yeah, novelty went.
Oh, that's awesome, though. That's sweet. That they bought your merch. Hey,
they're good kids. Good kids. And if any of them are listening, they were good kids. It was a good school to work at.
You miss it?
Yeah, I do. Bits of it, parts of it, but then not other parts. So.
Okay, yeah. How did, speaking of the fame, I suppose, how did you come up with, what made you decide to do a YouTube channel? Why did you do a YouTube channel?
Well, if you go back probably about 5 years ago, I had a YouTube channel for the school I worked at. I had a YouTube channel that was just for that school, and I put lots of videos on. And then to try and engage the kids, I was chatting with a kid one day who'd seen Dell's video and come up to me and said, the one where he pours water on the bowl, and they come up, and I knew nothing about flat. I didn't even think people thought flat Earth was a thing, and they come up to me and said, "Listen, I've seen this video. I know that the Earth isn't flat, but can you just prove? Can you just tell us what's wrong with this video?" And this kid was really engaged and switched on and interested in the whole topic. And I thought, what a great way to try and interest them in science. So I made a couple of videos saying why the Earth wasn't flat, just for that school's,
right?
Just for those schools. But then, and one of them involved Sleeping Warrior as well. He come on and we had a nice discussion. But as soon as that happened, that channel started getting hounded. Even though they were perfectly respectful, they started getting hounded by flat earthers, being abusive, and I just thought. So I stopped making them on that channel because it was for kids. But it kind of annoyed me a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give them a bit back. And I set up the different channel entirely on my own, didn't tell anybody, and that's really where it came from.
Wow. So you met Sleeping Warrior before Conspiracy Cats?
way before Conspiracy Cats.
Get
Way
out.
before.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And you know what? It was just as dishonest then. We had I put out a series of emails to all the Flat Earth channels I could find with email addresses on, and I said I wanted to film a discussion with a flat earther, so I could then show that to the kids in the classroom, and we could use it as the basis of a fun lesson where we can learn about different bits of science that the kids would be engaged on. So I sent him some questions I was going to ask him, let him prepare all his answers in advance, and I said, you know, I'm not interested in debating you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you these questions. You answer them in however you want to answer them, and I will not then come back at you and try and correct you. We'll just listen to what you've got to say, and then we'll take it back to the classroom. So that's how it panned out. But what Sleeping Warrior then did is he took that video and he gave it to, is it Celebrate Truth? And titled it "Science Teacher Gets Smashed in Debate."
No.
Oh yeah, straight from the off. Science teacher
So
was smashed. So
disingenuous.
somewhere on. Yeah, unbelievable. It was absolute. But at the time, I didn't care because I wasn't in. You know,
Right,
I didn't
right.
have.
You didn't have the
No,
ego
I
of
just-
yeah, right.
But it's still out there, and you can find it. If you go on his Truth and go on the Celebrate Truth channel, somewhere on there is that original video, which I might just pull up one day and tell the story of.
Tear it
But
apart. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it was fun. I think since then though, I've got my own back.
Oh, definitely. Many times over.
Yeah, it's
Does he even
it's
still
fun.
have
But
a channel?
does what? Sorry.
Sleeping Warrior still have a channel?
Yeah, he's focusing a lot more on
Oh.
legal stuff at the minute and surrounding
Oh
the
yeah,
lockdown
because he's
and
sovereign
whatnot.
citizen too. So there's that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, he's
messed up.
changed his focus.
It's a free man of the land, right? I'm correct.
Yeah, over there it's called Freeman of the Land. Thank you, Raj.
Mm.
But yeah, he's.
I'm not sure which one I like better though.
I don't know.
Oh,
well,
The naming, I mean.
we got a flat earther in the chat.
oh, who's that?
SpaceX says.
I don't know them. Do you know them, Kat?
I've never heard, but he says taking swipes doesn't prove any globe. So
Yeah, we're
But
not
the thing
part
is,
of
it doesn't
channel.
need to. It doesn't need to. Nobody needs to prove
No.
the globe to a handful of people who misunderstand science to a point that you know, that they think it isn't a globe. At the end of the day, everybody's going to go on with their lives for the rest of time, knowing that the Earth is a globe. And if people want to change that, they've got to provide evidence that the Earth is flat, and that's never, ever, 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 ever forthcoming.
No.
We don't have to bend over backwards to prove to people that trees exist or jelly babies exist. We don't have to prove to people that the Earth is a globe. You know, we just.
It's funny that they think we do. That's to me the thing.
And I think that seems to be the attitude, you know, of I'm going to sit here and you've got to come to me and prove to me this, that. No, I don't. I don't have to. If I choose to take a video that's got some bad science in it, and it's a flat Earth video, and I choose to correct that science, I'm doing that for my own entertainment. And maybe some people who are on the fence who might fall into flat Earth, maybe it will help them. But not one bone in my body is thinking I have to prove the Earth is round to anybody. Why do I have to do that?
I think that's how most of us did go into it. We were doing it for the people on the fence, really. We never thought we'd convince somebody like a Nathan Oakley of the globe. He's too delusional. He's too lost.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think some are too lost, definitely. Some
are just scammers.
I wonder about Nathan Oakley, whether he's just now sticking with it for the money, and whether he's just telling porcupine.
I would say there's a few I can name off the top of my head that are just in it for the money. One of them already left because he wasn't, you know. Well, anyways. But yeah, you had a good attitude towards it always. It was always fun watching your channel.
You know what? At the very beginning, I think I got the tone wrong, and I do regret some of the videos I made at the beginning because I think I was a bit overly, not confrontational, but yeah, I think it was pointless. You know, I was correcting people on the most basic of science with an attitude of like, I don't know. If I do it now and I'm having a bit of a laugh and fun, it's all lighthearted, it's fine. But I think I just took it too seriously then when just correcting people on the most basic of stuff that didn't really need taken seriously. So I did change quite quickly the way I made my videos.
Yeah, sort of like an us versus them type thing at first.
Yeah, which it should never be.
That whole tribalism thing comes in all walks of life and all parts of life, and it should never really. Yeah, you shouldn't believe one thing just because a group of people you like believes it, and I find that too happens. But yeah. So, do you think you'll stay with Flat Earth, or do you see other things happening with your channel?
Oh, definitely the things. I mean, I said, put a community post out about 7 or 8 months ago now saying Baldy Cats wouldn't do any more Flat Earth stuff whatsoever. Right. Although having said that, I did do a Flat Earth video on Baldy Cats last week. It was a very different type of video. But if you look back on the Baldy Cats channel, I've not been that active, but what I have done hasn't been Flat Earth related. And on the Conspiracy Cats channel, I'm looking into just other things because I'm personally bored of it now. I've had my fun with it, and I want to move on, and want to do other stuff with my channel. So yeah, I will not be staying with it.
They don't have any new arguments, so how could you not be bored? Really, Well,
that's it. Team Skeptic said something similar when I was chatting to him not so long ago. That it used to be so fun to just go into YouTube, type in Flat Earth, look at the latest videos, and there'd be silly experiment after silly experiment after silly experiment. And now, there's a lot less of it, but it's just all more of the same.
I have a question, Catz. Has Ken Hovind ever done a whack an atheist on you?
He's done 2 or 3, yeah.
He's been butthurt ever since they debated.
He did one. It's my favorite ever, where he had to do it in 2 parts. I even did a video on it just because it was so funny. It was titled obviously Whack an Atheist Conspiracy Cats, and it was the second one that he'd done on me. And he sat down. He tried to bring up my video on the screen behind him, and the advert started playing on my video, but it was one of those super long, 5-minute adverts, and he couldn't skip it. I don't know why he couldn't skip it, and he just sat for 5 minutes watching this advert play. And he did, and then I did a whole video on it because it was so funny. And then the stream ended, so his entire video on me was just him watching a 5-minute advert on my video.
That's ridiculous. He is so tech unsavvy. It's not even funny.
Are you implying he was not prepared for that?
Oh,
he was not.
That's never going away. Hey, at least if I leave YouTube, I know that I created that meme having you on my channel. So hey, I got a little bit of history there.
And you got your own GIF as well on the Twitters.
Yes, I do.
The tenor thing. Yeah.
The daft.
I use it from time to time. It's awesome.
So I won't be forgotten. That's nice. But yeah. So speaking of the debate with Kent, did you ever in your life before your channel think you'd be doing something like that?
Nowhere near. I mean, I remember when you said you got that lined up, and I was over them. I was really excited, and then you topped it by getting Ray Comfort as well. I don't know how you managed to do that, but no, I never thought for a million years I'd even be arguing with anybody. But it's addictive, isn't it? Like the debate thing is addictive. If you've got someone who can be civil, I like it. It's like a little battle of wits. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know how civil Kent was, but Ray was very nice.
He was a good guy. I felt bad afterwards because I felt like
he dropped real quick from that call.
Yeah, he didn't want to say goodbye, did he?
No, he didn't. He dropped between me, our last moment here, and then privately. It was between those 2 moments. Before I even got back to the meet, he was gone. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
you wouldn't tell him about your porn habits.
He was dead pleasant.
You wouldn't tell him about your porn habits, and he was disappointed.
Oh, Ray asking those stupid questions.
That one got my what did he just ask him? I was not expecting that, but
I was, because I've seen him ask somebody that before, and before I went into the debate, I did toy with the idea of going out and buying a dirty mag and having it underneath the desk. So when he asked me that, I could just lift it up and show him. But then I thought, no, it's on your channel. I didn't want you getting a strike.
Thank you. Thank you
So I didn't.
much.
Yeah, to buy a copy of Swank. You just have it sitting there.
Just open it up and read it.
Yeah, or start the stream that way, reading it.
Um,
We're
oh,
starting? Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, this? Oh, I read it for the articles.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah,
Brilliant.
he's a very personable man, Ray.
He was.
Even if that's just an act, and I think it is. But Kent doesn't even try. You know, he's like a curmudgeon is what I would say about him. The get off my lawn type guy.
Yeah, I think he's done that many debates as Kent, because he is doing them all the time, isn't he? From his ranch, and I just think it's very cold and clinical for him now. It's like a business meeting. He logs on, does it, and then he goes. You know, and I get that. But.
Yeah, he and I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way, so I won't go any farther than that. But so do you see an end to this? Are you gonna do you? Well, actually, wait. I'll take that back. Where did Baldy Cats come from? When did you come up with? I'm gonna have a totally different person.
The Baldy Cat's gone through about 8 different phases. The reason I started it was because when I was doing the Conspiracy Cats videos, I was only making them to make myself laugh, really. And when I was, or just I was trying to make something that didn't bore me. And when I was trying to put the science in, I'd have bits that I found funny and then bits that just bored me to death because I was just talking about gravity or something. And I thought, wouldn't it be good if I could have a channel that just took the mick out of something, but then I could link it to a more serious channel that would explain the science in a serious way for those like 5 people that wanted to hear it. So I went through a little phase where I didn't put any debunking really in the Conspiracy Cats videos, but I did say, if you want to actually see, for example, how a mirage is formed or, you know, whatever, or why he was wrong about this, go to that channel. So all the original Baldy Cats videos were just me with a camera over a piece of paper, drawing equations and doing really boring stuff. But then for some reason, the channel just... I think I woke up one morning, I had like 10,000 subscribers. I never checked, and it had obviously just been drip feeding through from Conspiracy Cats. And at that point, I thought, well, maybe I should make more of the channel and actually do proper videos, but maybe proper videos that aren't quite as silly. And then that's what I started doing. So I know there's a bit of silliness, but it does tend to be a little bit drier than the Conspiracy Cats. Yeah. So that's what I do with it now.
Would you say either one of them or which one of them are more you, the person behind the cats?
Baldy Cats, I'd say.
He's more you?
He's probably more like me.
Yeah.
I knew it. I'm talking to the fake one.
I mean, everybody can be childish and have a laugh and be silly, and the kind of jokes that I tell in Conspiracy Cats, the way I behave. Of course, like if I was at a party, that's what I'd be like. But in my day-to-day life, I'm not that much of a knob. Baldy Cats is more like me.
Okay. That's fair enough. So is there anybody you want to debate still? Like, who would you like that's out there?
I would really love, and if you know what, if we could get this set up on your channel, I would love it. But I'd like to debate Andrew Kaufman, or Kate Shimarani won't do debates now. She's been removed from social media, and I don't think she ever debated in the first place. But I'd love to debate Andrew Kaufman. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's definitely somebody that I'd love to debate.
Yeah, I'm making a note. Andrew Kaufman. Is that with a C or a K?
K. And it's not, I know a lot, when I did a video on him first time, a lot of people in the chat said, oh, he's taking the mick. His name's Andy Kaufman, the comedian.
Yeah.
But he's actually not. He's actually very, if you look at his channel, he's really serious. He's the guy who, in my opinion, really kicked off the whole viruses don't cause disease nonsense that he brought out.
Oh, now I know who you're talking about. Exactly. Yeah, I mentioned him in my anti-vaxxers thing. Yeah.
The Cox postulate guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such ridiculous arguments. But the problem with him is because it's quite a niche field, and he is a doctor, he's a psychiatrist, or at least he was in psychiatry. I don't know if he still practices. And he is quite articulate in the way he speaks, and he does actually go and grab proper scientific papers and proper images, you know, from electron microscopes, and he talks about them in a really articulate way. And anybody who who's, kind of forgotten the A-level biology or whatever, will listen to him and think, God, this guy really knows what he's talking about, because he does use a lot of correct terminology. But what he's actually saying is just trash. But a lot of people just won't know it. And that's what annoys me. Nothing I've ever heard him say ever is like above the level of AS biology here, which would be like a 16, 17-year-old's understanding of biology. I've never heard him say anything above that level. So I know where he's getting his information from, but he must sound like he's much more competent to others.
Yeah, no. I will make a note of that, though. All right. How about flat earthers? Who's your least favorite, most favorite? Most favorite to cover, least favorite person? Anything.
Least favorite person's got to be Nathan Oakley, because he's just so dishonest in the way he runs his own debates,
Mute button.
But
Plus
what? Sorry,
he beats his kids too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. His daughter. That was that thing.
that was horrific. That
Slap
favorite. Sorry, go on.
The slap heard around the world.
Oh, hang on.
Oh.
I'm cutting out here. It might be my headphones, but you broke up there a little bit for me.
I was just saying, it was called the slap heard around the internet, actually.
It was, wasn't it? It was.
Horrible. And then he tried to...
It was.
First he tried to play it off, then he said, thanks for the advert. Wasn't that the thanks for the advert thing?
That was his catchphrase. Whenever anybody made a video on him, he'd drop on and say, "Oh, thanks for the advert." But what made me laugh about that? Not laugh about, that's horrendous. What made me laugh about his excuse to wriggle out of it is, first of all, he released a video and said that sound didn't come from my microphone; it was from Anthony Riley's microphone, and then Anthony Riley, not so long after, was talking about it on someone else's show and said, "Oh, the sound was Nathan." Shutting his iPad lid or something, and they didn't even got the story straight themselves. But I think everybody who heard that can draw their own conclusions about what happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But who would you ever want to meet up with? Any of them, or debate any of them?
That there are flat earthers I've spoken to who aren't big names online. They might have small channels or do little bits and bats that I've emailed with, and they're being really, really polite, and I quite happily go and meet up with them and have a chat with them. But I'm not going to name them here because small, and we've emailed. It's kind of like in conference and what have you. But I think the bigger ones, I don't think there's anything productive to be said, really. No, I don't think so.
Do you think? Like, looking around at the other channels, the other debates, what do you think of? I'm not going to name names. We don't have to name names, but how do you feel about the way the debates usually go?
You know what?
We've had talks about
part of me enjoys watching a bit of a car crash TV. Part of me enjoys watching that Dunstan fight, and I will switch on and enjoy something like that. But at the same time, then me and Creaky created Agree to Disagree, because we felt the need that we wanted to see something else as well. We wanted to see something where you didn't get that. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other, because I do like watching the dumpster fires. But I think the way that I prefer to see most debates is what we're trying to achieve on Agree to Disagree. Right. But obviously we've got a long way to go before we build ourselves up as a serious channel yet.
I think we've tried to do it on the few that we've done on my channel as well.
Definitely. It's been great.
I even got backlash for being too nice to Kent. Too respectful, I should say.
But the thing is, if you didn't set the stall out, because I know, it's like when we come to debate on your channel, it's very, very clear, what the expectation is of how we conduct ourselves, etc., which is great, because then, for example, Ray Comfort, there's no way he would have come onto your channel if he'd have watched the debate with Kent Hovind and it had been screaming and shouting and swearing. He just wouldn't have come on, So, you've any debate you've got on your channel, you can send off to people and be quite proud of the fact that they could look at them and they'd be happy to come on.
That's how I got Ray. By the way, I sent him, your Kent Hovind and your Standing for Truth
Mhm.
debates. I think that did a lot. The way you act with people, and you're extremely personable. You're a likable guy, and I think that helps a lot.
Well, I don't think everybody thinks that, but thanks.
No,
But like I say,
please.
the expectation was clear. We knew how to behave going on, and that's how we do it. If I was on a different channel, different expectations, I might behave differently. But that's one thing he did that I think stands you in really good stead. That you made it clear, what the criteria was and how we should behave.
Yeah, it was different. And I'm gonna work on the Andrew Kaufman thing. I can't promise anything. I don't know how I got the last two I got for you, but we're gonna try. So
It'd be amazing if you could get him. I don't know. I don't even know if he does do debates. I've never seen him in one.
oh boy,
be
that's
interesting.
not good. We'll try it. So, Cliff, is there any burning questions to start with, or
Sure.
any super chats yet? I don't know.
No.
Roberts? Okay, just all right. Because those we get first.
Just that one.
Thanks.
Here's one that's kind of, I don't know, maybe a lot to ask, but Not a Brat says, ask him if he'll play his guitar and sing us a song, please.
That would be wonderful. Maybe on the way out a little bit.
I actually, I don't know if anyone's noticed, I'm suffering a little bit. I've got a repetitive strain injury in my wrist, not from what you might think.
Likely story.
So I just can't.
Okay.
We don't kink shame around here, though.
Okay, fair
just
enough.
saying.
We'll have you do that next time.
Yeah, sounds good.
You do make amazing songs, though. I mean, I love
We
the
love
songs
it.
you made about the Flat Earth and especially Kent Hovind's song. It's amazing.
Well, he played a part in that. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Go ahead, Cliff.
All right, so next one from Freddie Fastfigure. Conspiracy Cats, do you ever debate the class? I think it would be interesting.
Debate the what? Sorry.
The class, like when you taught.
When you talk.
Oh, did I ever debate with against the class? You mean?
Yeah.
When I was teaching. Well, I tried when the whole idea of what I said earlier on about getting Sleeping Warrior on and getting these questions was to create a debate within the classroom. And I'll be absolutely honest, like in my head, I thought that was going to be amazing. I thought the kids were going to watch the video, they'd be so enthused, and then we'd do our own debate, and I could debate against them. I could even pretend to be the flat earther. They could debunk me with science. It'd be great. What actually happened was the kids really enjoyed the video, and they all said, "Oh, he was stupid, wasn't he? When can we watch the next video?" And they had no interest in going. Like they just weren't interested. They just wanted to watch the next video. So it was a bit of a failed experiment on my part. I'll be honest. So no, they wouldn't. I would quite happily debate them. I think it's great, a great thing for them to do. But then they weren't interested.
Okay, Cliff.
Chickens.
Irish Dublin girl in the chat says maybe Catz needs to learn the harmonica.
Oh.
Yeah, possibly.
Does Baldy Cats play any instruments?
He plays a bit ukulele and and the triangle.
Okay.
The ukulele, triangle, and the recorder, right? That's all.
Definitely.
Baldy.
Master on the recorder.
Yeah, right.
All right, we got one from your pal Al. He says, question for Catz. If you're playing FIFA with Team Skeptic, how many goals would you spot for him to be a fair match?
You know what? I'm embarrassed to say, I've played Team Skeptic only once. We had a couple of games, and he smashed me. Just imagine how bad Simon and Dan would beat me. So, he absolutely destroyed me. So there we go.
Wow.
I'm terrible. But I do like your pal Al. Well, some of his videos are really, really funny. He did a great one with Baby Yoda. That scene in the Mandalorian where he's playing with a switch, and he keeps turning the switch on, and he put like the Kent Hovind song and the Ranty P1000 song or whatever over, and every time Baby Yoda pressed the button, like some of those songs came up. It's quite funny.
Do you think? Is there any of creators that are like, I'm going to say on our side, in our community, that you would debate?
Oh,
Like,
what like about a certain topic I disagree with
anything,
them on?
yeah. That you debate.
There are actually, yeah.
Do tell.
For example, well, okay. So for example, Godless Engineer, I love that guy, and he's such a nice guy, and I've exchanged loads of tweets with him. I've got him on direct message on Twitter. He's such a nice guy. Every now and then he will post something about maybe a political standpoint or something like that that I think, well, I've got the opposite opinion about that, and I know that if I debated him, it would be a really nice, chilled, civil exchange of views. So because he's a great guy, and I'd then say Godless Engineer, but I'd have to pick the topic carefully.
And Marvel, I'll be right back.
Okay. Is that the only one?
Is the one who come to mind because I have thought about that in the past. Thought about reaching out to him and getting him to do, but I think, to be honest, everybody in the community on our side of it is capable of having a civil debate. So I would debate anybody.
Everybody? I don't think everybody is.
Well, I think against each other. I think against each other, we'd be able to.
I'm sorry. You know me. I gotta go there. I'm not gonna name names, but I gotta go there and be honest. I don't think everybody on our side could. You've seen them. DC Marvel alone could get pretty heated.
I would love a DC Marvel debate. I did have one on Agree to Disagree a while ago,
You tried to have one. I wasn't there, so you didn't have one.
I got spanked. My knowledge is terrible.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't there, so you did not actually have one.
I drew everything I knew from the films, and everyone in the chat was. I think they were disappointed. Yeah, we'll have to get you.
The films don't exactly follow correct canon in all situations.
No. The X-Men alone got screwed up completely. We're not going to get into that. That's a sidetrack that if I start, I won't stop, and we'll be here for hours, and we can't do that.
2 words. The Wolverine.
Stop. Just stop right there. Shut your dirty whore mouth.
See, I'm one of the few people who preferred the first Wolverine film to the second.
What?
Maybe not the ending. The ending was wasn't a sci-fi payoff.
They screwed up all of them, but terribly with Deadpool. I mean, that was not Deadpool. No. I think everybody can agree that he had no mouth. The Merc with the mouth had no mouth. How do you do that? But anyways, there's so much I want to say, but I dare not. Yeah, I didn't like the Wolverine. It was screwed up. It had, but yeah, I would say of those origins, I didn't like Logan, but I didn't like the comic book Logan either because it's not the right universe. It's not even in the same universe.
Can I ask you a question about Wolverine?
I like the excuse me, 1 second, Raj. Absolutely, I like the movie Logan after I saw it finally, but I didn't want to see it because it's not the same universe. Go ahead, Raj.
True.
Do you prefer Logan in yellow spandex or black spandex?
Oh, you mean the comic book Logan? I'll take him in any spandex. But, yeah, they didn't do right by him on screen, just like they didn't do Scarlet Witch right on screen.
Hey, man.
So, I think on WandaVision she finally wears her actual costume. That'd be nice to see. Because it's an iconic costume, you know.
Who's this Wolverine
fella?
It's not very
PG-13, you know. It's a bit too sexy, I think.
Yeah, true. What were you gonna say, Robert?
I was just pretending to be jealous of Wolverine.
That's cute. I saw that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I even want to. I was asked to debate the Marvel DC thing a long time ago, and I said no because there is no debate. Like the Globe, there is no debate for me.
So you're definitely obviously Marvel side. See, I appreciate both. Well, something might give it away, but that's how sharp I am. You see, I can sense these things. It's a sixth makes sense. But I like them both. I like them both equally, to be honest. Yeah, I have because I never read the comics growing up.
Right.
I don't really got. I just like good films with. So even when I watch like a Marvel film or a DC film, if it doesn't fit with what was in the comics, I'm blissfully ignorant. I have no idea.
But I'm sorry. Can you say, other than the Batman films, the Dark Knight ones, can you say there's a good DC film? I don't know.
I'm going to come under fire for this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was good.
Okay, yeah, but I will give you that.
But I really like Batman versus Superman.
No, you didn't.
Oh, come on, Catz.
Oh, honey, no. I feel so bad for you right now.
Tragical. Can we get a no?
Can we?
It's something about Martha. Why did you say the name?
Really, the Martha thing alone?
Yeah, that was bad. That bit was bad. I'll grant you that.
Isn't that
I'm curious though about the voices for the newer Batmans. Is there any opinion on that? I mean,
for Pattinson or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Pattinson. But the trailer looked all right.
I don't know. I mean, they had Ben Affleck pay him. They can do anybody now. You know, come on. I'm not the whole Ben Affleck. I'm sorry. I don't know if you like Ben Affleck Batman, but I didn't. I thought it was silly. Ben Affleck should not play superheroes. He destroyed Daredevil for me. I used to love Daredevil. I used to adore Elektra. After that movie, I can't even look at the books. I'm like, oh God, it's horrible. Horrible.
It wasn't the best film, that one. I did like his Batman, though. I'm going to be honest. What I didn't like was the Justice League. I just thought the Justice League fell flat, but I'm really looking forward to the Snyder Cut. Because is it March that comes out?
Yeah.
The Justice.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The Justice League was just rushed, horribly rushed.
What I was gonna say.
They had no build up. No. You're just gonna introduce
a bunch of people.
Superman and Aquaman of all people and Wonder Woman before you jump into that. I mean,
that's
no.
What the MCU
sorry.
Did right. That's what the MCU did right. They had the solo movies first. You got to know the characters, and you cared about the characters when they came together as Avengers. So,
you didn't see it coming. Like, you saw the Iron Man movie first a long time ago, and you're like, oh, this is awesome, you know, cool. You know, then they dropped Captain and, you know, Ant-Man. They had a couple different Thor.
And you cared about
before you knew it, you kind of felt it coming together, and then it organically collided for a fucking huge mashup movie. And I don't care what anybody says, the Avengers movies are incredible.
Oh, they're amazing. That finale, the Infinity War and Endgame, the way they tied it together, it was just, it was fantastic. I don't think I'll ever see a cinematic event like that in my life where something so big, with consistently high quality gives such a satisfying payoff.
And
you're right, and it was such. Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
The acting was good. The characters felt real. It felt grounded.
I cried during that shit. That's how attached I was.
When Nat went over, I died. I screamed
when
out
Tony
loud.
Dies?
When Black Widow jumped, I screamed. And
What about when you hear Falcon's voice in Cap's ear when you left? Yeah. And the portals open up in Endgame.
It's beautiful. Because they built the relationships. You didn't have that with the DC universe.
No, there was attachment everywhere, and it was all organic was the thing. And even though that by the time it got into full swing, it just seemed like Marvel was doing money grabs because it seemed so easy. That was a really risky 15-year journey that they launched back then, you know? And I was happy to see him pay off. You know, most people are numb to it because it was Disney and seemed like it's just a giant no-fail situation, but I could argue that was not the truth.
Wait, I got a super chat from Joseph Hassan, $5. Thank you.
Hey.
More than you know, I appreciate that. But are the rules to cricket does your TARDIS float? But Mandelbrot says, when they have a poll of which superpower you want most, nobody ever picks the ability to command sea creatures. Have you ever noticed that? That's a great point.
Poor Aquaman.
I feel bad.
Aquaman's horrible.
So is Namor,
It
though.
reminds me of the boys on Netflix. What's he called? The fish guy on that.
I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't either. I've heard it's really good though.
It's fantastic.
Yeah?
He's called the Deep.
The Deep, that's it, yeah.
Re-
Most
that's the
useless
name of it?
here on the planet.
That's the name of it. Oh, okay.
That's exactly how superhumans would be. The human nature would take over, you know? Especially the invisible dude. He's just a pervert. I mean, it's funny as hell.
The invisibility power has always been tricky, you know, because it is so easily to go bad, you know, to steal, to rob, to manipulate people, really. But anyway, this is getting off sidetracked. I didn't want it to do. Sorry about that. It's not about Marvel DC. Someday maybe I will gather you all back. Hopefully, if I'm still around. So, Catz, back to you only. Cliff, are you here?
Wait. He still hasn't answered the super chat though about cricket. No.
Oh, cricket. Sorry, that's right.
Yeah.
Will you read that super chat? If that's the super chat.
Are there rules for cricket?
Yeah.
And
There
also,
are.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Also, does your TARDIS float?
Yes, the TARDIS floats, but it's out of batteries. So it won't float today.
Okay.
Are the rules for cricket? Yes, but do I understand all of them? No. I very rarely watch cricket unless it's the Ashes or the World Cup. Cricket is for anyone who doesn't know a lot about cricket, it is genuinely 100% possible to have a game that lasts 5 days, and then because it rains, they just cancel the game. And no matter what the score is, it will just call it a draw because it's rained. So and I'm not exaggerating. That is, yeah, no. You can watch it for 5 days.
And not have an ending?
And what, sorry?
And not have an ending. Not have a...
No, just call it a draw. Just call it a draw.
God.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that the game where... Because there was a cricket... What do you call it? Pitch?
Yeah.
Okay. A cricket pitch, field, whatever. Across the street. Growing up, I had a park across the street from my house. And there was a cricket field there. And I was told that... I love seeing the guys in white, though. If there was like even a candy wrap or anything on the field that made it not clean, perfectly clean and manicured, they would have to forfeit. Is that true?
I don't think it's quite that bad, but they will stop play for games for all sorts of reasons. Bad light is one. You know, if it gets too cloudy, you measure the light with the meter and they postpone the game.
Really? Oh wow.
It's so bad. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's terrible.
It's a very picky uni sport, huh?
Get cloudy in England? No.
Well, this was Jamaican, the Caribbean. My park.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't English people.
Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up in that neighborhood.
But no, it's because he was talking about it,
Yeah,
so I thought
I
it was
get it.
about. Yeah.
So
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna ask you to go on about the cricket thing.
Oh, well, because every couple of years, we have what, to me, as a non-cricket fan, is the biggest event of the cricket calendar. That's the Ashes, which is a 5-test series against Australia. So each test lasts 5 days. We will go over to Australia one time, and then we'll play for 5 days or up to 5 days. Might be winning beforehand. And they'll do that 5 times, and then the best of that wins the Ashes. Right. And then the next time, they'll come over to us. And every time it's in Australia, you get to play the full 5 days if it lasts that long and you get a result. And then every time they come over here, it rains.
Oh, no. Do you have to forfeit when that happens?
They just stop playing. It's just like, one team could be looking after two or 3 days like they're going to win and it rains. And they're just like, it's a draw.
That's got to be so frustrating. Really.
It's terrible. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's such a...
It's silly. No, it is. But, wow. So, can you read that one that we just got, Cliff, about the crickets?
Sure. So Christian Gunalius says, "Cricket. That's the sound you hear from a flirf when you ask for a map."
Yeah,
I like that
exactly.
one. But did you call it a test?
Yes.
That's the name.
Test match.
Instead of calling it a game, that's what's called. That's what you call a game or a match or whatever.
Well, you've got different types of cricket. You've got the test match, which is a 5, and I'm sounding like I know stuff about it. I really am not an expert. You got the test match is like the 5-day kind of like big event. But then we've got 2020 cricket, which all takes place in one day or one evening. And then I think there's another format as well. People in the chat will know better than me. I'm not really a cricket man.
Wow. So is that all the same type like game though? Like, and you just pick a. I don't know how to say it because this is confusing the hell out of me. Like, it's always the same rules and stuff, but you just pick how long you want to play it, basically. Like Monopoly.
Yeah, it's essentially the same rules. In 2020, you get 20 overs. So an over is when you bowl 6 times, right? So 20 times. What if you got 120 balls, and then that's it. You just stop. So like England will bowl at Australia, for example, for 120 balls, and then they'll swap.
In a row?
What, sorry?
In a row?
In a row, yeah. Yeah, in a row. So like unless they get them all out in that time, they'll have their full 20 overs, and they'll register a score, and then England will come in or the other team will come in and they'll see if they can beat that score with whatever's left, and then it's over in those 40 overs. In a test match, what happens is you bowl until you get them all out, and then the other team steps in, right? And then you bowl until you get them all out, or they declare because they decided they've scored enough points. And we call that an innings, and then they do it again. So each team gets 2 innings, and then they've got to be. It takes that long. You get 5 days to do it until it starts raining, and then they call it a draw.
Right? See, in baseball, we have innings. Okay, we have depending on what you're playing, 7 or 9. You get 3 outs per side, 3 strikes per out. Gotcha. Like
Got you. Yeah.
If you take a swing at the ball and you miss it, it's a strike. If you hit the ball and somebody catches it, it's out. Got it?
Got it. I used to play it on the Wii, baseball on the Wii.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
I kind of.
right. So
Yeah, we.
How do you get people out in cricket though?
Well, you can get caught out just like you can in baseball. So if someone hits the ball and the fielder catches it, it's fine. But also the behind the guy playing cricket, you've got like 3 wooden stumps. And across those wooden stumps, there's another little bit of wood that rests gently across the top. That's called the bail. And if the ball hits those stumps and the bails fall off, the guy is out. Oh. If somebody goes to make a run, you know, like in baseball, if someone goes to make a run and then they throw it to the guy who stood on like the little white pad, if it gets to them first, then they're out.
Right.
Same thing. If you can throw it to the guy behind the wicket, behind the bails, who can knock the bails off before the guy and it catches out as well, yeah.
Can you tag them out? Like if you catch the ball and they're running by you and you touch them, are they out?
No, you've got to knock the bails off.
Okay.
And then there's other rules as well, where like
excuse me, Varuka's licking the microphone to say hi.
Is what, sorry?
Varuka was just at the microphone trying to lick it and say hi. So hi from Varuka. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
There is another way to get out, and that's if the ball hits you on your leg, and you miss it with the bat, and it hits you on your leg, and the referee or the umpire judges that it would have hit the wickets and knocked the bails off. If it hadn't hit your leg, then you go out, and that's called leg before wicket, LBW. So.
Really? So they can.
Oh, it could flick off your leg or your hand. It could flick off your hand and get caught by someone, and you're out. So
see, and baseball, if it hits you at all when you're the pitcher is throwing it, you get the base.
You get to go no matter what.
Base, yeah.
I think that's because in cricket you're trying to defend those pieces of wood. So if you just put your leg in front of it, you'd never hit them. So it's not allowed to do it. But it is a desperately dull game at times.
It seems similar to baseball because in baseball you're defending home plate. In a way.
Yeah, it's definitely got similarities. I think baseball is more similar to what we'd call rounders that we play at school.
Yes. And basketball is similar to what is it?
We've got netball, but netball is
something. Girls play that, right?
Pretty. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen a male team, a male netball team. I don't think I've ever seen one in my life. So I think it's pretty exclusively a girls' sport.
Yeah.
Although I don't know why, because when I watch, like you get every now and then you get it on TV here or as a school, when there's like a tournament and the girls are playing netball, it's quite a fast game, you know, and people are sweating and getting, you know, so it seems like a good form of exercise.
I used to have a friend in England, and she played netball in school, and it seems, except for that you stop when you catch the ball or something like that. I don't know. It seems
Yeah, you
similar to
can't
basketball.
with it.
Yeah, that's the odd thing to me. But yeah, my dad coached both baseball and basketball. Clippy, questions, please.
Okay, so we got super chat from P Barnes for $5 Australian.
Oh, thank you, P Barnes.
I don't know what this question means, but he says, and who has the little urn currently, Catz?
Okay, so the urn, we talked about the Ashes between England and Australia, and essentially it's called the Ashes because I think it was the bail, that little piece of wood you knock off, and I might be wrong, but I think historically a bail in a match between England and Australia was literally burnt and turned into ashes and put into a little urn. It's about that big. It's the smallest trophy. This just makes cricket the smallest trophy in the world, and that's what they play for. Tiny.
That's funny.
And England do not have it at the minute. I'm not sure who has it at the minute, but England do not.
You just know it ain't England.
It's Australia.
Yeah.
What is, like, it always seems there's a rival between England and Australia, no matter what you're talking about. Is that true? Like, do you guys?
Yeah.
Couple of sports. I mean, I don't think there's a rivalry between like England and Australia.
Yeah,
you know, we look upon the country quite fondly, but we sport with rugby and cricket. Because historically Australia have been so strong in cricket and they've been so strong in rugby, and England
soccer. Football.
Soccer not so much. Australia have never really been a major player in soccer. Maybe
isn't Australia?
Go ahead, Robert.
Wasn't Australia a prison colony for the British?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
So that probably has a lot to do with
talk about that anymore.
In 1936, England beat us in ice hockey, and we've never forgiven them at the Olympics. We've never forgiven them.
I didn't even know the Olympics. I didn't even know
because we won, didn't we? At some point.
Yeah,
in
that's just a loss.
Yeah.
In 1980, you won.
Yeah, we beat the Russians, but that's just a loss that shouldn't happen to Canada.
Yeah, because the English team was actually full of Canadian expatriates, so it was kind of yeah.
Cheaters.
Isn't it funny though that people will do that? Their country's sports become like their country in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're so proud. Like for me, it was the women's gymnastics team. I was so damn proud of it. Right? We're the best in so many ways, you know. And you become proud of it, like you have a part of it. You don't. You know, it's like the sovereign citizens say, I pay your salary. Yeah, maybe like 8 cents of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have no real part of it.
Not even that. Not even that.
Yeah, true.
It's way less. I mean, it's the taxation are across the entire country, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
divided
not
by that.
the police though. Police is state to state, or city to city, really. Yeah.
Oh, that's still a big number.
Oh yeah.
Most states over there are bigger than my entire country. Heck, they're bigger than England.
Do you have the same thing over there in England? With, I know the freemen of the land. Like how, the freemen of the land, do they stand out as much as the sovereign citizens stand out here?
No, it's not something that I've ever heard of off YouTube, and no, the only person on YouTube I've ever heard play that card was Dave Murphy. You know, allegedly Dave.
Right.
Yeah, it's not really a thing over here that not that a lot of people know about. And maybe there's like a niche community on YouTube or something over here where there are famous, like, you know, Freeman, but it's not something I've ever noticed.
Lucky you. Tell you that. All right, Cliffy, next question.
All right, so we got. Simon Dan says, "Conspiracy Cats. Imagine Millwall West Ham with a mixed crowd."
I don't understand a word of that. Can you explain?
No, that's going back to what we were talking about before about keeping crowds separate from each other at football. And yeah, Millwall and West Ham are known to be to have like quite a hardcore
volatile
group of. Yeah, so that you couldn't get them mixing together.
That still surprises me that you have to separate your crowds. Like you have separate entrances and stuff.
Yeah, separate entrances, and then the sections are fenced off with metal fences. Yeah, so there's no mixing at all.
Hey, babe.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Can you check
I
the
got
code,
it.
please?
I got it. Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
Sorry. It's hard for
No
me.
worries.
It's hard for me to do everything at once. I'm still not used to it, guys. I'm sorry. But okay. Next question, Cliffy. Let me show everybody for a minute.
Okay. From P. Barnes, we got question for Catz. Who was his favorite and least favorite debate opponent?
Oh, do tell.
Favorite. You know what? Probably. Let's have a look. Favorite and least favorite. I did like Standing for Truth because he could be civil, and it was perhaps a little bit gish gallopy, but he was certainly really, really civil. So I liked him for that. And we were so polar opposite in what we thought, but he could hold his manners, which was great. Least favorite would probably be George Howard Stirrup or Howard George Stirrup that I debated just before Christmas, because we exchanged emails beforehand saying how civil it was going to be, and I said we should have alternating 3-minute sections so we don't overtalk, and he said no, I can totally control myself, and unless you can't, we don't need babying through the debate like that. And then as soon as the debate started, he wouldn't shut up. You know, he said, "Oh, I'm allowed to interrupt you because you're a liar," and he ended up leaving.
That's right.
It was
that man is a pathological liar. I mean, it's been shown time and time again whenever he debates. But hashtag stop censoring Harold.
Stop censoring. But the thing is, sorry, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't know.
Next question, Cliffy.
Yeah. So next question. Knights Media Club asks, Conspiracy Cats, you found the edge of the world yet?
No. No, not yet. I'll keep looking though.
Okay.
How often do you get things like from flat earthers, messages, tweets, comment, like obviously not on a video, like just how often do they come after you?
How often? I think it depends on the type of video I've put out and if it's getting a bit of traction. So I got a lot after I made. I got a lot after Speak Truth came out and said he was no longer a flat earther. I got quite a string of emails. I've had some emails since my video last week. So it tends to be if I do a video that I take. You know what? It's more about the serious stuff I do than the jokey stuff. So yeah, it comes in spurts. At the minute, I'm getting quite a few.
Okay, go ahead, Cliff.
Okay, sec here. I'm just copying a question to the chat. Okay, so we got a question from Bad Uncle Bob. He asks, would you ever debate Mr. Hovind again, maybe on ERVs?
Love to. Absolutely love to. Kent,
the man who said he wouldn't come back because we didn't treat him fair enough. We didn't let him talk, he said. What?
Which was was ridiculous, that wasn't it? I remember in that debate, I did talk over him once when I really wanted to hammer home the point that he was dodging the question about answering what allele frequency was. And I remember specifically when I did interrupt him, apologizing for interrupting and saying, "This is the first time I've interrupted you, and I'm not going to interrupt you again, but it's such a serious point. Can I interrupt you and can we get back on track?" And that was the one time I interrupted him.
He actually interrupted you about.
Very much.
I think I kept track about 5 times, and then he actually mouthed off as well. So he was the one who was more interruptive, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how he had the cheek to say that he wasn't given time to talk in that debate.
Yeah, it's not like he was debating.
Good.
He does it all the time. He always says he doesn't get enough time.
It's not like he was debating Aaron Raw or something. Like, come on.
It's just, to me, the real insulting part of when he said that he won't come back after all, because he promised it on the air, you know, several times.
Yeah.
It was when he, the fact that he didn't tell me. He had his secretary tell me right before the second one's going to happen.
Yeah, it was also very late. I mean, the man has no style. He has no class.
No,
just right before the second debate, he just, okay, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and I had spoken to his secretary several times, and even that day, it wasn't until right before that she called me and told me he wasn't coming. So that bothers me, and I wouldn't invite him back now. That's just me, though. Go ahead.
Your debates on this channel were always set up exactly like agree to disagree. Yeah. You know, giving people time to talk, having timers, and you know, giving time for rebuttals. It was actually set up with an internal schedule.
Right.
But yeah, apparently he saw something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was very fair.
It's like, of course, it was like agree to disagree. I started with Catz, so there's a correlation there. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right. P. Barnes says, "Is Catz prepared for this?"
Very.
I hope so.
That's never going away. God dang.
It's not, is it? It's got somebody. I remember Kent Hovind did a video pretty much about I'm not prepared for that thing. And you know what he said, right? He said somebody did a song about it. And I thought he was going to, you know, show the song that I put together. But somebody else, another YouTube channel, a small, about 80 subs, had done a really, really good I'm not prepared for that mashup that he talked about. It was hilarious.
Really?
I need to tweet that out.
Please do, because I haven't seen it.
It was great.
It's so catchy, that song.
Yeah, Catz.
Just one little snippet, and you made an entire song about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love Katz's music in that way.
Hey, Marvel, as usual, people are saying you're very quiet.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm working on doing well.
After the stream, I want to see your OBS settings.
Okay, thank you.
Because there's something wrong in there.
I need Radji support.
I will look at the settings.
Thank you. Go ahead, Kippy. Anything else?
Yeah, we got a few left here. So
I have Catz a little while longer because I want to get him to his No, don't eat the. Wait, sorry, Varuka's eating one of my wires. Varuka, no. I'm on the air right now. You can't. Varuka. No, I need that.
Okay. Sorry. Mendelbrot Set asks, "Why did Conspiracy Catz call his last flat Earth debate opponent Broomy?"
Oh, Broomy. Ah, right. Okay. He's changed his name a few times. His YouTube channel is called Tommy Hench. But I first met him in Jen Panda's Discord, where he was called Broomy. So he was called Broomy on the Discord, which is where he was better known. And then Tommy Hench on his YouTube channel. And I do believe that he's recently changed his name on the Discord channel. So he's not called Broomy at all anymore. But it's just because that's what I've always called him. And it just, it wasn't an insult or anything like that. He called himself Broomy because it sounds like Brummy, and he's from Birmingham, and people from Birmingham are called Brummies. And
I have a friend there, yeah. I didn't know that Birmingham had more canals than even Venice. Did you know that?
I didn't know it had more than Venice, I've been to Birmingham. It's got a lot of canals, but I didn't know it had more than Venice.
More than Venice. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Good.
It's like the Italy of England.
There you go.
I didn't know that. I'm going to use that fact. Yeah.
Yeah, they're longer than that.
Except it's full of soccer hooligans.
Well, to be honest, so is Italy. So.
Okay. Archie Roche, I'm butchering your name probably, says, has Conspiracy Cats ever been rented for a party as a Phil Collins lookalike?
Yeah, we get a lot of that. We do.
Yeah. No, I'd love to be a Phil Collins lookalike.
You are a Phil Collins lookalike, is what we're saying.
I can see it calling in the night.
Yeah.
He was great with Phil. I loved him.
Yeah.
Well, he's not dead though, is he?
No,
Still
he's
around?
not dead yet. No.
No. Yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff. I do like him, and you know what? Because like in a day and age now where you have to have the image, don't you? You know, you manufacture. You've got to have like the Hollywood looks and whatnot.
Right.
He's just got by on sheer talent. You know.
Absolutely. He's not the best looking man, but you're cuter than him, so that's good.
I don't know.
Say that.
But I've got a lot of time for Phil Collins. I really have. I think he's great.
He's a good drummer. He's an excellent drummer.
Mm.
Go ahead, Cliffy.
Okay, Basic Trigonometry asks, Clifford Reynolds, what did Klopp say to Cats in the tunnel at halftime?
What?
No, I've actually met Sean Dyche, and he's a really nice guy. There was a football match yesterday or day before. I can't remember now. Liverpool versus Burnley, and the two managers had a little bit of a tiff at half time, it looked like. Oh. But I think Klopp said, you know, if you win the game, I'll massage your feet. And I think Dyche said, well, you may as well massage them now because we're kicking your ass. And then it all kind of kicked off from there, I think.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. It's cute.
Okay. Good. Okay, so one more question, and then we got two more questions. Okay, Dog Walker asks, I don't know what this means. What is his brother doing tonight?
Oh, Baldy.
Yeah.
I guess you mean Baldy Cats, yeah.
Not much, yeah. He's a wank.
You know, I meant to say earlier, you should try another one of those haunted hotel ones like you did. That was so interesting to me. I loved that one.
I think there was some around here that allow you to film inside while they do the tours, and I might do that. In that one where I went to that haunted house, I think I showed a clip of me getting told off to put the camera away. So, and I genuinely did. I was filming someone speaking, and the whole room was full. And she didn't even just look at me and say, "Oh, excuse me, by the way, filming's not allowed in here." She properly bollocked me in front of everybody. Wow. It was hilarious. Well, it wasn't hilarious at the time, but I can laugh at it now.
But the rest of it was so. I mean, you brought your wife, right? Did you bring the whole family or just your wife?
Yeah, we all went because it's just a hotel. Like it's just a hotel not far from where I live, and anybody's allowed. So we just booked a room and didn't even tell the kids that it was anything to do with, because I didn't want to fill their head with ideas just said, "Oh, it was going to."
Because the Shining, I think the hotel from The Shining is right down the road from me.
No way.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing something like that here.
Wow.
Because you can actually rent the room from the movie that all that shit happened in real life. Yeah, the murder.
Wow. Yeah. The Shining's great. I watched Doctor Sleep recently, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah. That was awesome.
Do you think you'd ever have your wife or your family in any videos in the future? Make a family thing?
Maybe if I drastically changed the subject matter of the videos, but at the minute I wouldn't want them in to then just get I don't mind people trolling me and telling me, you know, also, but I don't want it for them. It's not fair.
Good point. Go ahead, Clippy.
All right. So last question, then we got a couple of comments too. YouTube Surgeon General asks, Catz, do you remember that Flat Earth game you and Dan played with furfers printed on cards?
Oh
You should expand that game further, as it was hilarious. Maybe Magic the Gathering style.
That was actually the inspiration for the Sobsit one we did.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, the top trump thing. In fact, they're just over there now. Those top trumps. Yeah, that was a great idea, and it's the only thing I think I've ever beaten Dan at, because whenever we've done any other thing like that, he's always destroyed me. So yeah, it was a good game that. In fact, I think he made them public. I think somewhere on one of his videos you can actually download them. He put a lot of time into those and can play it.
Yeah, I remember looking at them when you were playing the game, thinking, "Wow, he really made cards." You know, it's like, wow.
Did a great job.
Yeah. Go ahead, hon. Anything else?
Yeah, we got a couple comments. So Charlie Welch says, "Sick as shit with COVID. YouTube is my entertainment. Love Catz. He's great."
No, we'll get better soon with the COVID. It's crazy how it affects different people in different ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, our friend Binary has been sick since last January, even, I think. Like, he's been in and out of the hospital. Binary Tools. He's always in your chats, probably. And yeah, so hopefully you're feeling good, Binary. And who else? There's a couple of people that in our community who've been really hit by it.
Yeah, it's we all had it here, and I mean, it hurt me for a few days. I just felt like I could hardly move, but then after about 3 days, I was fine. But my wife and my eldest haven't got their sense of smell or taste back, and we're nearly 2 months on. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's quite a worry that it can just come and just rob you of something so important.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Because, I mean, why would you want to eat at all except for sustenance, really, if you can't taste it?
Yeah. Yeah. And my cooking's so great, they're missing out.
Yeah, right.
No.
Sure it is.
Duh. I can make toast.
Oh, good. Oh. Go ahead, Clippy.
Okay, Mandelbrot said asks, did Catz ever ask Peter and Pete to debate?
Oh, God.
Yes, when I very first started, I made videos on them in my very first few videos because they were claiming water wasn't. I didn't realize at the time that people like that were just saying stuff just to see what they could get away with saying. I thought they were
really?
genuinely. But yeah, I was so new to it all.
I still don't realize people do that. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, then they said, water is an element. It's not made of hydrogen and oxygen was a big thing. And I asked them to debate, and no, they didn't want to go anywhere near it, which is fair enough. Not everybody wants to debate on stuff, but I thought they genuinely were confused. I didn't realize that they just said the most stupid things just because.
This is totally news to me, Catz. I swear to God, I thought they were serious. I remember that.
Well, I at the time I thought this was, but then they went on to make videos. First of all, after that they said oxygen doesn't exist, and then another video they did a couple of weeks later was you can make oxygen using a bicycle pump. So the oxygen that doesn't exist, you can make using a pump. And then they said clouds are made of salt, and I don't know. They just seem to me, it just seemed to be like they're going through a phase of just literally saying whatever they want to say, just to see how far they can take it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else, Clippy?
One more comment and that's it.
Okay.
So Monk Mayfair says, Marvel Girl, how dare you invite Conspiracy Cats on and not Baldy Cats? So rude, LOL.
I tried to get Baldy Cats. I've been telling that for days. I've been trying to get Baldy Cats, but this is the one that showed up. What can I tell you?
Yeah, sorry guys.
But no, I can't thank you enough for doing this.
So next week we're gonna see Baldy Cats interview.
I'll be right back.
Well, coming soon, we're gonna have actually YouTube search in general is hopefully gonna be coming on. And I've also asked Anthony, but those might be kind of iffy. We have to see what happens in the near future.
Gotta come up with a name for this. What is Saturday Night Live with Marvel Girl?
I just said, like, I was going off an interview with a vampire with yours. So it's like an interview with an Unhallowed Night, an interview with a split person or something like that for Catz because he's two people. But this one was really basically conspiracy Catz tells all. So I don't know. I don't. You got an idea for a name? Not Saturday Night Live. That's taken.
I like an
No,
interview.
it was purposefully,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get
with a
it.
very lame name, you know.
You like the an interview thing?
Yeah, an interview with. I like that.
Okay, cool. I did too. I don't know if people get that it's an interview with a vampire thing, but I like it. Yeah. So
I'm a night person.
you're a
So,
night person.
you know.
I get it. So
Just
yeah.
because of time zones, don't blame me for being a night person.
I hate time zones. I do, guys. It was hard because I was trying to get Catz on here. I'm like, we're trying to figure out times and dates. He works during the week, and then like weekends, there's movie night, and movie night is not just important to him; it's important to me that he has his movie night. So I love the movie night thing, guys. Everybody should do movie night with your families. Okay, do it. It's so worth it. Don't you think?
Yeah,
guys?
I love it. Best time of the week. Best time of the week.
It absolutely is. And I was an only
I
child.
just saw something really funny in chat, by the way.
Oh, what?
Helmut Koch. He's a night person.
Yeah, that's not how you meant
Oh
it. 'Cause
man,
that's how I took it.
No, that's not how I meant it. He
Oh.
actually made it better now.
Oh, that's how I
Actually,
took it.
that's how I meant it. I'm just gonna own it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It was totally how you meant it. All right, so let's wrap it
English,
up.
English sometimes cracks me up, man. All those homophones that you guys have, it's funny.
It cracks us up too. But I gotta let Catz get out of here though, so he can start his movie night. So thank you very much for coming, Catz. I'll let you be the first to say anything you want to say.
Oh, well, thank you. Just thanks for having us on. I've really enjoyed it. And everybody on the panel here is an absolute blast. Like, I always enjoy coming on because it's such a friendly, it's just a nice, chilled thing. So, yeah, thanks very much for having us. Really, really appreciate it.
You're a joy to have, Catz. and I have a good time whenever I talk to you. You're easy to talk to, and I appreciate that because I do get a little nervous with people sometimes. But yeah, you've always been so much fun, and oh yeah, you can't play us out. Darn it, your poor hand. I hope you get better soon.
Oh yeah, I think I need to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say I will hold you to the song and the strumming.
Yeah, I should do one. Come on and do something like that. Yeah, I think I need some painkillers, or it's starting to seize up a bit.
So is it? Do you have to do therapy for it? Like, how's it? What are they gonna do for it?
I'm gonna have to go and get it checked out. There's a funny story. I did this to myself. Do you want to hear the ridiculous story of how I managed to give myself this repetitive injury? Me and my brother are always doing stupid challenges, right? And about 3 years ago, we decided to do a challenge where we'd do 300 press-ups a day every day for a month. And we would start by, obviously spreading them out through the day. But I went a whole month and I did 300 press-ups every day. And by the end of the month, I'd knackered my wrist. And that's like